Jupiter is in Virgo, and it's traveling direct through the sign of the Virgin. This is going to affect your 10th house of your status. So, and how much clout you have, Sagittarius. So, just understand that this is about how much clout you can have. And Virgo is a little restricting for your ruling planet of Jupiter, Sagittarius. So you might experience a little bit of restriction when it comes to people saying that you have clout when you feel you have more than what they're affording you. That kind of thing, where you feel that you have more status and more clout than what you're being afforded. That's sort of how you'll feel as Jupiter continues direct through Virgo. Also, Sagittarius, you want to keep in mind and have a heads up that the planet Saturn is, although it's not your ruler, it's not your ruling planet, but still, it's affecting your first house because right now Saturn is in Sagittarius. So you want to understand this. You want to understand that it's sort of the inner tyrant. Saturn is the inner tyrant, and it restricts. It restricts you, and it will be restricting you in your first house while Saturn's transiting through Sagittarius. Your first house is how you appear to others, yourself, sort of self-confidence, but also how much you'll sort of put yourself forward and put yourself out there. It's a bit restrictive. So just understand that. And this isn't really coming from anybody else. It's coming from you. It's coming from your own inner tyrant. We all have an inner tyrant. We all have these aspects within us. Now let's see how your ruling planet of Jupiter affects you this month, Sagittarius. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your guardian angel Michael, the mighty archangel Michael, who rules over all the fire signs, and through your specific teaching angel Adnachiel, who rules over Sagittarius and who resides over your immutable fire sign. And these are his messages for you in love, money, and health. Okay, first we're going to get to the love part of the transmission. Now you need to know where your moon is and where someone else's moon sign is in order to really get a full grasp of how the new moon and the full moon affect people's emotional lives. Because it's not just the romance, but it's also the friendships and it's also family relationships, the various forms of love. So you want to pay attention to these aspects of your life. The new moon in October occurs on the 12th, and it will be a new moon in Libra, and it will occur in your 11th house, or affect your 11th house. And you'll find that will cause sort of a situation where you'll feel that people are a bit selfish. They'll think you're selfish, you will think they are selfish. That's kind of how it will affect you. That's this new moon in Libra that's on the 12th. Now, the new moon in Libra will kind of pull off the light that shines on fairness and the light that shines upon justice and fairness and balance. So people will play favorites. And that will be how everybody will be feeling. Of course, everybody will be affected in a different house and in a different way. But you want to understand how this will affect you. So basically, you'll feel that others are selfish. That's what you'll think. All right, now, there's a full moon, and they think you are. So it all plays out the same way. There's a full moon in Taurus on the 27th. And that will affect your 6th house of discipline and habits. Personal habits, health habits, discipline, these types of issues. Okay? So, this is going to affect you strongly in how people are going to say that they have a certain routine, and they feel that you need to have a certain routine to be at your best, and the light will be shown on that in your life in this way. They'll say, well, I have this certain routine, and you'll say, I have this certain routine, and everybody will think theirs is better. Of course, everybody thinks they're better than everybody else. Every person on the face of the earth thinks they're better than everybody else. Believe it or not, that's the way it is. Okay. So this is how your emotions and your emotional relationships will be affected this month. Now for your money transmission from the mighty archangel Michael and through your specific teaching angel, Sagittarius Adnakiel, the money transmission, basically it boils down to this. Having it all. People want to have it all. They want to say, I have it all, or he has it all, or she has it all, or this person has it all, or that person has it all. I have it all, you have it all. You know, these kinds of thoughts, and people are going to try to ascertain the meaning of success. What does it mean to be successful? Can it be counted in how many numbers somebody has? Can it be counted by how many stockpiles of gold somebody has? Can it be counted by how many friendly relationships somebody has? Is it by the quality? Is it by the quantity? And this will change, and it changes depending on where a certain, people, the sun is, of course, we call it a planet, we call it a star, but the ancients in astrology, they refer to it as a planet. In Kabbalah, it's referred to as a planet, and the moon as well. Just to make that clear, again. All right, so people need to understand that the definition of success will change depending on whether you're coming from a Venusian aspect, a Saturnian aspect, or a Jupiterian. It depends on where you're coming from. Now, you're ruled by Jupiter, which gives you a little bit more of a friendly aspect and a more benevolent aspect, whereas Saturnian, people have a lot of Saturnian aspects in their chart, a lot of Capricorn or a lot of Aquarius, this kind of thing. They're ruled by Saturn. This will, or that have a lot of planets heavily laid in a certain aspect, that are affected. This, and maybe in Capricorn or Aquarius, a lot of these things are very specific. And if you really want to know how someone's going to be, you really should get their chart done before you go out with them if you're dating. Really. Seriously. Because otherwise, they may be telling you a story, but you want to get the real scoop. Because they have their physical genetics, then they have their astrological is your spiritual genetics. That will also, dictate. It's like a phenotype and a genotype. The hidden, you want to see what's recessive, what's hidden, and what's out front. That's what you want to see into the depths of the person's soul. It's very important in to get your chart done, and compatibility charts, and we do those as well as astrocartography, because where you live will shape you and shapes the person that you're interested in. So that's important for love compatibility. Okay, now we're going to get into the mighty archangel Michael and the teaching angel Adnakiel's health transmission for you, Sagittarius. We have diet and exercise being extremely important, but especially the diet, and focus on the digestion, the third chakra. This month will be important for you, Sagittarius. You want to eat light. You'll want to go on cleansing diets. You'll want to go on special diets. You'll want to focus on the liver, because a sluggish liver causes stomach problems, usually. And you'll want to focus on the small intestines and how you're actually digesting. Because the stomach may break down, but the small intestines digest your food. So you want to make sure that you're properly digesting. Okay? And you're gonna be attracted to various liver cleansing and liver strengthening substances like milk thistle. Now, if you want to, if you're afraid of catching a cold or flu, and you feel that you need, because of a secondary bacterial infection to a viral infection, you might want to go with, if you want to go with something natural, if you don't want to go with an antibiotic, you or your doctor may feel this way. You want to check with your physician first. However, a lot of doctors feel that because the bugs are becoming so resistant to antibiotics that you might want to try something else. Now, if you want to we utilize sovereign silver when we have small infections, and for larger infections, if you get a bad flu, then you can use sovereign silver sublingually in cooperation with also taking golden seal. Again, check with your physician, but this is what we use and it works very well. Golden seal tincture, again, sublingually works very well. So these things will heal bad infections. This type of thing can be utilized just as efficiently and just as effectively as the allopathic system using antibiotics. And this has been proven over and over and over again. Also, it depends on the modality that you're in. The modality that you believe in will work for you. If you don't believe in a certain modality, it won't work for you. You have to believe in the modality. The physician has to believe in the modality and the treatment, and you have to believe in the physician. It doesn't matter whether you're going to a witch doctor in some rural area. It will work as long as as everybody knows that will work. It will work, but that triangle has to be there. And an MD. It's too bad I can't remember the name of the book. I read it many moons ago. But it does work on that principle. It's a triangle. But whatever modality you believe in will work for you. So you should stick with what you know in your own. It has to be a knowing rather than just a hope. It has to be a knowing, like, I know this will work. That kind of thing. And then it always does. Now, if you have open wounds of any kind, you can also utilize these things if you have infections. But you can also utilize internally or externally aloe vera. Aloe vera is very good to heal the stomach, heal the throat, heal the kidneys. It also heals open wounds. A lot of people that work in rehabilitation hospitals know that aloe vera works, and that, quite frankly, so does golden seal and sovereign silver. They know that. A lot of people know these things. A lot of Chinese practitioners are very good with these modalities. And there are some practitioners that are allopathic MDs that also are very good at these naturopathic systems, and you should seek their counsel when possible. They're gemstones to find in a world that's hard to find anything good. Okay, now we're going to get to your afterglow, and we're going to go over your planetary formulas, and we'll just highlight the planetary aspects that we felt were important for you to remember and have a heads up for this month. Okay, so the little planetary formula, the Rosicrucian Kabbalah, it's October 17th. We have 2015, we have a Mars in Virgo, conjunct Jupiter in Virgo, and that equals a self-sufficient types prevail with this formula, engaging in prepping and disaster preparedness. Do you know the number of your FEMA region? So it's kind of saying that October 17, 2015, that's really a lot about preppers and people that are very self-sufficient versus people who like a lot of help. It takes all kinds to make a civilization that works. Okay, now some of the things we want to highlight for you this month, Sagittarius, we have Jupiter in Virgo direct, of course, in your 10th house of clout and status. That's presently what's going on all through this month. Now, Saturn, again, is direct in Sagittarius. Currently, that's your inner tyrant affecting you, affecting your first house of self and appearances. Remember also that there's a new moon in Libra on the 12th, in the 11th house, and it'll make people seem selfish to you, and a full moon in Taurus on the 27th that will be affecting your 6th house, and that will be affecting your habits, your health habits, your disciplines, those kind of things. All right. Thank you for joining us, Sagittarius. This is your angelic horoscope transmission from your guardian angel who resides over all the fire signs, Michael, and your specific teaching angel at Nachiel. And I'm Pastor Rosemary, the astrology angel, and thank you for joining us. Join us again next month.